Hello. Hi everyone. Good morning. Welcome back. As part of the today's session, we are going to study a brief example on NS predicates. The significance of an NS predicate followed by an example on this NS predicate also. Immediately a quick question will comes in our mind, why we need this, right? What exactly the significance of that? Let me tell you the usage first so that you guys can better understand that. Consider that in your application, maybe you are creating a user or you are creating some role, and after creation, consider that the name that you have given is f name followed by some date timestamp or a random number that you have given. And after creation, there is a possibility for us either to verify whether the created entry will display or not, or if it is a static text. For suppose, if it is a button right after you created an entry, and if it is showing as a button, you need to click on that button and you need to move further. If we need to click on newly created record as a button, if you need to do these activities, so consider that app dot buttons of, okay, app dot buttons of f name followed by that button name dot a tab. Consider that I have a given this logic. This will work for this time, and when I run it, as it is a dynamic number, next time this logic won't work as the name itself got changed. That's the reason in Selenium, we usually uses contains a text, a portion of the text, which is a quite common text. We will be giving it as an input. So here also, rather than giving a full name, we can use f name, and we can ask our XUI test that if there is a text which has an f name contains it, identify it and perform that particular operation. Ignore the number next to that. So ultimately, a portion of a text, if I want to validate it and proceed further, I can use this NS predicate. On a high level, I can say that there is an object, a button basically. On a button, I want to perform an operation on that button based on the partial text. I can use an NS predicate in such cases. Okay, I can use an NS predicate in such case. So for which, what I have done is I have created a function right now, test predicate, where in which I have defined a logic to launch an app and to terminate an app. So in order to deal with this particular predicate, we need to know the various objects. So that's the reason what I'm doing is I was just establishing a connection right now or a session. Okay, after that we will be picking up the objects and we will be dealing that activity. So what I'm doing right now is let predicate. This is the name that I am defining, and I was using an NS predicate. This NS predicate, I want to go with a format. Okay, so here using which attribute, the text that you are giving here, and here it's gonna be what exactly the test. So the first parameter, I can say that in a label, if the label contains some name, okay, if the label contains basically, and that name whatever you want to validate would be specified here as a second argument. So for this predicate, NS predicate, the first argument is gonna be on which attribute, whether it is a label attribute, whether it is a name attribute, or whichever the attribute you want to deal with it, and what exactly the text I want to validate it needs to be specified here. PO app dot static text. So guys, if you see right now, I established a connection with this particular UI catalog application here. So where in which I was just trying to print the static text from there. So out of all these static texts, so here consider that activity indicator is there. Copy this activity indicator text, and this is a label attribute, right? And this is a static text. So here format of the label, okay, of the label contains. So here we just need to pass on the regular expression. So contains. Okay, so what exactly we need to do? Contains a C space percentage at the rate, and here activity indicator, we just need to give the design name. So here label contains, see, this is the syntax basically, and on a right hand side you just need to give the desired value that you want to validate. And right now I have a just defined it. So for this predicate there is an element query. Okay, so here I'm defining a query. So on the app, so what we are dealing right now, I'm dealing a static text, app dot a static text. Okay, on this particular static text containing this particular predicate, if it is containing this particular predicate, get all those instances and put it in an element query. Get all those instances and put it in an element query. If, okay, if the element query dot count, if this is greater than 0, print, okay, element displayed. And after displaying that, I want to click on that element query dot element dot tab, whichever the element is there, I want to perform a tab operation on that, guys. That's it, nothing beyond that I want to do. Okay, let me keep this pass as a 6 seconds, and I just want to keep my debug pointer on the top, and I'm killing this instance. I don't want his instance right now. So I have created a predicate wherein which this is an activity indicator. What is this activity indicator? This is a static text. Consider that if at all you are dealing with the buttons and you want to validate those buttons, app.buttons, you need to keep it out so that it will be validating the buttons which is having this particular text, like that. Consider that you are dealing with an other elements, right? So there are buttons and other elements also. If at all you are dealing with an other elements, type it as a app dot other elements. Depending on your application, you just need to keep that and you just need to trigger it. Now let me try to test this one and see. I'm trying to execute this one. Okay, let us see that. Okay, so it established the session. Right now I'm clicking on the next button, and here there's one. If you observe right now, it's saying that the activity indicator is displayed on that particular app, and the element is displayed. That's what the message that I have given. And if I perform a click operation on that, see, the activity indicators on the, okay, the activity indicators on the app got a clicked, and it navigated to the respective screen. Okay, and it navigated to the respective screen, and I'm asking to wait for few seconds and then terminate the instance. That's it. So this is the way how exactly you can use an NS predicate, guys. So practically and personally, I used this NS predicate in my project when I am dealing with another elements and when I am dealing with a buttons. The application that I have considered right now does has a static text. That's the reason I was using this as static text. Other than that, whichever the UI, whichever the hierarchy it's showing up here, you can pick it up like app dot other elements. In the other elements I want to verify app dot buttons. In the buttons I want to verify, like that you can continue using this predicate. Try implementing this predicate and let me know if you have any issues. Okay, wish you good luck. Bye bye.